Hi, my name is Heath Fogelman. I'm co-founder of Bridges, which is a alternative social media platform that's designed around connecting people by their differences in fundamental things like religion, politics, race, gender, gender identity, sexuality, things like that, so that they can connect in one-on-one conversations to discuss those differences in a civil dialogue, rather than the kind of discussions you see on our social media platforms we have today that all too often turn into fights and aggression and insults and those kind of things. I've lived in the Tampa Bay area for many years, the vast majority of that, at least 15 years in Pinellas County. I'm in Dunedin currently. So the origin story of Bridges really, it came as an idea in the lead up to the last presidential election, thinking that there were going to be a lot of disaffected voters on one side, and there was a lot of conversation that wasn't happening in a productive way. And really wanted to put something out there to help people connect and understand each other better, but in a safe space, again, where you're not dealing with those attacks and everything you see on social media. Turned out the election went the other way, but that just meant there were disaffected voters on the other side. And we really want to do more than just politics, because there's so many divides in our country that are exacerbated through a lot of the social media channels, a lot of the media that we consume, that we think can be healed to a great degree, just by having a conversation with someone and learning to understand where they're coming from. And we think ultimately to find out that you have a lot more similarities with people than differences, even when you differ on fundamental things. What we are doing right now with Bridges is we actually just launched an IndieGoGo campaign for Bridges. It's at igg.me/at/Bridges community, one word. We launched that to fund the build of the actual platform. My co-founder and I are both, we're marketing guys, we're idea guys, we're very creative. We have the vision for not just the platform, but a social movement that grows out of it that goes beyond the platform into real world meetings like art shows and culinary events and concerts and all these different ways people can connect around their differences and foster understanding between them. That's sort of long-term thinking sort of after the platform, which we have to get built first. So we launched the IndieGoGo in order to find funding to get it built, and then my partner and I can take it to the races and scale it, we believe, quickly, market it effectively, and get it out there to really help the world. So the response that we get is almost universally, wow, that's a really great idea. And then there are a lot of questions, some of them are, how are you going to moderate it? How are you going to keep the conversation civil? We're going to rely largely on community ratings for that. So when you have a conversation with somebody, at the end of that conversation, you're going to rate them on a few simple questions. That's going to aggregate into their community rating. And the people who are in there to troll and to be attacking people, they're going to get phased out. They're going to get poor ratings. And the people who are in there adding value are going to rise to the top. And they're going to have lots of conversations with lots of people to help build that understanding across these divides and build bridges, again, to help sort of heal the wounds of our nation. Probably the biggest challenge we would face is just scaling it up. It's going to be a new social platform. We don't think we're going to replace Facebook by any means or any of these other platforms, but we want to be an alternative platform where you get out of the fray of those mass one-to-many social bubble type platforms and get one-to-one with somebody who's on the other side of whatever issue you're talking about to get a real meaningful conversation. As far as scaling up, our initial plan is going to be obviously marketing, but working with colleges and professors. There are so many ways that this could be implemented within fields of study where people are going to be engaging with people different than them. You think about education, law enforcement, law, business. These are all fields that you're studying. You're going to meet different people from different religions and races and everything all the time. We see a place in those curricula for bridges, for assignments, religious studies and gender studies and racial studies and things like that, where people can reach out to people different from them, and do some research, have some conversations, write a report, or whatever the professor decides to do. So we think that's going to be a great way to scale, because when we've talked to some professors already that have interest, and I think once we get those students using it for the assignment, they're going to realize what a cool platform it is and how powerful it is, and help us scale it quickly and being advocates for us. I think probably the most valuable piece of advice is just be persistent. This has been a long time in the making. We've interviewed developers, we've looked for partners, we've tried to approach this in a lot of different ways, and just haven't given up because it's something we believe in, we're really passionate about, and we want to see happen because we really think it can make a positive difference for us in the world.